At Haze, I'm Brian Haze, and this is Vet Talk. I've often wondered if other veterans were going through what I was going through when I came home from tour, not just tour, just being separated from service. A big part of my life was gone. I didn't finish my career as a private. I finished my career as senior leadership, and a big part of what was gone for me was mentoring. And I've just recently been able to mentor again with my nephew, and it's a wonderful feeling. And I have to remember not to do too much, but I've often wondered is it possible for other people to be going through what I've gone through, what I've seen, what I've done, how I've lived, how I've changed. What was it like for them? What were their stories? And if you don't have a veteran in your family, you don't know. I got the unfortunate pleasure of spending some time away from my family. PTSD had drove me to a point where it was time for me to take a time out. And on that road to recovery, I met some amazing people. And they all had amazing stories. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if they could be heard? This is one of them. Let's start with your name and a brief background of yourself.
My name is Nicholas Lawrence Cherry. I was part of the United States Army, Go Army. I am 35 years old, and I am a veteran looking to get myself reacclimated in society. It's never been easy making change because change is difficult, but with help from people like you guys, the transition can run smoothly if I have the help and I have a voice that can be heard by the population as a whole.
Okay, so you said that you're a veteran.
Yes.
What were your years of service?
I joined the military February 8th, 2000, and I got out October 10th, 2010. Now that's a little over 10 years, and it was the greatest decade of my life because I had gone somewhere that I'd never been before, seeing people that I'd never seen before, and doing something that I've never done before, and I'm better because of it. But even better has its limitations. I wish I could stay in there forever, but
any experience with 9/11 or combat tours?
September 11th, 2001 was one of the most difficult days of my life. I lost my aunt in the World Trade Center, and I lost one of my best friends in the World Trade Center. I was in Fort Hood, Texas, in 4-5D 367 Armor Battalion. And on September 11th, my life changed for the worse because I'm from Brooklyn, New York City. We had a muster formation where everybody in our battalion was gathered together, and we were asked questions about where we were from. My sergeant was informed that I'm from New York City and that the World Trade Center had been struck by 2 planes. I knew that all of my experience, all the things that I trained for would be put to the test as I would see whether or not I was good enough to meet the standards of being not only a soldier but a hero to the American people. Now, I was deployed with the 310 CAF, which is part of the 1st Cavalry Division, to Tour, Afghanistan, where I spent 11 months overseas. And then I did another tour in Ramadi, Iraq, where I spent 8 months overseas before getting my first injury. It took me 9 months in Columbia, South Carolina, Fort Jackson, Moncrief Hospital to be rehabilitated for my 3rd tour overseas, where I was shot in the leg and stabbed in the arm. Now, this is not something that is prominent, but I was hurt, making sure that the American people would never be hurt again. I will say this, though. As a veteran, I'm reminded every day of the strength and the valor of people that have come before us. Gulf War, World War II veterans, Civil War veterans, Desert Storm veterans. These are people that laid the groundwork for me to be as strong and as great as I am right now. For us all as veterans to be as strong as we are right now. But strength does not stop when the battle is over. We go to the VA hospitals to receive medical treatment from civilians that are in love with what we've done and what we've given, the sacrifices we've made, the minor adjustments that we've allowed in our lives. But sometimes the minor adjustments come with major changes, and sometimes those changes aren't easy to adjust to. I'm seeking help from a lot of psychiatrists and therapists, people in polytrauma, people that are fixing me up physically and mentally, emotionally. And I want to thank you guys for this opportunity, because a lot of times when the sessions end, so do our voices, so do our chances to be spoken out, to be spoken with or heard. This is great.
Have you did you see some hard times in Afghanistan?
My best friend, Private First Class John Cena, not the wrestler, but a best friend of mine from Hawaii, was one of my best friends, because the last four of our social were the same. In basic training, we would say regular Army with our last four, and I would say the same thing. So a lot of times we get laughed at because it was meant to be a joke. But his job was to collect body parts. And it took a toll on him, having to pick up fallen comrades, not in the sense that we would allow them to survive, but to send them home to their family members. I didn't think that I'd make it back, but only through the perseverance of God and the training of my NCOs and my leadership, the best friends that made sure that I got the push that I needed to make it day by day, to get through those hard nights. Those are the things that brought me home. September 11th was a horrible day, but every day after that seems just as bad, because I carried those memories, I carried the scars on my body and in my mind and my soul that will never wash away, that don't properly heal the same way. I'm getting slower every day, but I'm quick to remember the sacrifice of the legends that I call my best friends.
You speak of scars, so it has taken a psychological toll on you.
Yes, it has.
And how has that played out in your natural life?
I used to use this analogy. Men go to the gym and they work out. They give their all to build their muscle. The next day, the body aches. The muscles are trying to keep up with the inspiration, with the vigor that the person that is working out carries. The scars don't heal, but the strength that comes from those scars is making me stronger every day. And it's difficult, but it's a workout. And I'm getting better because of it. Now I have PTSD, psychotic depression, a major depressive disorder, a traumatic brain injury, and I have bullet wounds and shrapnel and things like that. And I see those scars every day. What I want from this interview is for other veterans and the people of America and across the world to see that even though those scars on my body, the strength in my soul is making me a better man every day. We're more than just soldiers. We're more than just heroes. We are the guardians that guard the guardians. And my time in service is not not limited to my time in the military, but my time in the Americans that we love so great.
It's funny that you mentioned the hero thing, because as a veteran myself, we're put on a somewhat of a pedestal as the local hero, or just the family hero, if you want to make the group even smaller. And when we go through hard times, after service, how has that shaped your life now? How has that remolded the pedestal outlook on things?
Ask any celebrity that's no longer relevant at that time. Ask any president that has left the White House what he does after his speeches are given or after his laws are put into effect, how he feels. What I've done is always going to be what I've done. Who I've met is always going to be who I've met. The lives that I've changed are always going to be the lives that I change. Even though I'm not wearing the green camo, I'm still the man that has inspired people to greatness. Even though I played a small part, I'm part of a big picture, and that big picture can be seen by people every day, because people every day have the freedom that isn't free. It's been paid for by the sacrifice, the blood, the tears we've shed, the hard work that we put in day to day to make sure that these people's lives are just a little bit easier.
Okay, so you mentioned having PTSD. So are you a part of the VA medical system?
Yes. Honestly, I didn't think that going into a hospital would allow me to have more than just physical healing. I've met people in the hospital that are great heroes, great inspirations, people that that make my life easier every day. We do more than just meet up at the hospital. We have phone calls, we have group sessions, we are on every social network, our emails. Their kids play with my kids, and this is what we wanted in the military. We wanted to make it easier for our kids to grow up in a place where things are well. VA hospital, they spare no expense.
And what was the, in your personal opinion, what was the most valuable treatment that you received from the VA?
Being
with your current condition,
I was welcomed with open arms. It doesn't take medication. It doesn't take the fixing of broken bones. It doesn't take mending scars to make you a better person. It takes somebody just accepting the fact that even though you're different, we see you as the same person that needs help. And they don't stop until you get the help you need. I think you guys are doing the same thing. You guys are not going to stop until the people that don't have what we have right now are not going to be left alone. You guys are going to make it so that they get the help that they need. I think this is what this is about. I believe that this is what this is about. Making sure that their voice is heard, that my voice is heard, so that they too can get the help they need. It starts with a question and ends in a solution.
Any dislikes working with the VA hospital?
The fact that we have to hurry up and wait. And I think everybody in the military knows what it's like to hurry up and wait. It takes time, and sometimes you want the answers right now. But anything worth having is something worth working for. It's difficult to wait, but worse off to regret.
All right. All right. A lot of I want to debunk some myths.
Okay.
That a lot of people have about veterans.
Okay.
A lot of people they pass the guy on the street with the sign that says "I'm a homeless vet, please help," and they kind of get the idea that that's what a veteran is. That's who we are. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the homeless veteran with the sign out, begging for change?
What do you think when you see Clark Kent in opposed to seeing Superman? You see a guy in a big suit with foggy glasses, with his shoulders slumped over. He's clumsy. He doesn't look like the hero that everybody would look up to, but he's still a hero. Underneath, he's still a hero. When he peels back the layers, he's still a hero. He just needs to be pointed in the right direction. He needs to be given the opportunity to show that he could still save lives. And that's what it's about. Reaching out and showing people that even though it's the end of the chapter, it's not the end of the book. We just need to let them know that we're here for them. Like you guys are letting me know that you're here for me. Like I'm letting you guys on the other side of this camera know that I'm here for you.
And if you had to give a veteran a helpful tip about getting his benefits together, or getting off the street, or just getting clean, what helpful tip would you leave behind?
You have battle buddies. You have a nation, a planet of people that share your experience, that know what you're going through, that can see how you feel and know what you're thinking. We're here for you, brother. All you have to do is reach out to the VA hospital. The Philadelphia VA hospital is located at 3900 Woodland Avenue. You can call them at 215-823-5800. They'll meet you at the front desk and take you where you need to be. Again, my name is Nicholas Cherry, and I'm one of many. I'm a vet.
Well, thank you for coming out, Cherry, and we are going to follow up with Mr. Cherry in the months to come, so that viewers can see how Mr. Cherry's progress is going. Once again, if you are taking some serious steps towards recovery, and you feeling that there's no hope, you do have battle buddies.
Oh yeah.
I am Brian Haze, and this is Vet Talk.
Thank you.
Peace, honor, and respect.
Appreciate it, Captain.
Well, that wraps up our first episode. I want to thank my good friend Nicholas Cherry for coming out. We're gonna have some hotlines available for you. The crisis hotline on the local VA, the Philadelphia VA where we're from. That information should be popping up as well. If you're struggling with recovery and you really want to come home, Like a lot of us came home, but we didn't come home. If you really want to come home, man, the VA hospital, you might hear some things that aren't always in the best light of the VA hospital, but there are some good people there that are actually trying to help us come home, you know. And for a guy that has struggled with PTSD for some time, you know, it's a nice feeling to know that I'm not by myself. I'm not going through this by myself, you know. And that becomes crucial in recovery. Aid, a helping hand, you know, a kind word, you know, some support. And we're doing this program just to let veterans out there know that there's support out there for you. Well, thanks for tuning into our little venue. We're going to keep trying to do this with your donations. And even if you don't donate, it really doesn't matter to us because we're going to keep going. What we really want to do is give veterans an opportunity, a venue to vent. You know, if you've got a dislike about VA, if you've got a dislike about your service, or just you're a grumpy ass veteran and you want to vent, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. Leave your comments in the comments box, or you know, reach out to us via email, and we'll get back to you. You know, we're just a bunch of vets shooting around with a camera, talking out our issues. I am Brian Haze, the veteran. Peace and love, respect and valor.
Artisans.